Good morning, friends. Today we are going to study sulphonylureas and their own cytoplasm. Myself, Shilpa. We'll be dealing with the topic with the perspective of medicinal chemistry. The expected learning outcomes are that we will be able to understand the mechanism of action of sulphonylureas, classify them, correlate structure activity relationship, and overall comprehend the role of sulphonylureas in diabetes mellitus management at molecular level. Chemistry. These are divided into two groups or two generations, as we say, the generation 1 and 2. They have a similar structure, that is substituted aryl sulphonylureas, and they differ in the substitution only at the para position of the benzene group and at one of the nitrogen residues of the urea moiety. The first generation includes drugs like sulphonyl, acetohexamide, solanamide, chlorpropamide. And second generation includes drugs libenocamide, lipizide, and lipazide. These are more potent than the generation 1. Now, considering the mechanism of action, whenever the glucose level in the blood shoots up, it is absorbed by the enzymes, and there it is phosphorylated to glucose 6-phosphate and then metabolized, leading into formation of ATP. This ATP it goes and binds to the sulphonylurea receptor 1, which is attached to the potassium channel. Binding of the ATP to the SUR1 causes closing of the potassium channel. Closing of the potassium channel leads to store of potassium ions inside the cell. This leads to change the potential towards the positive side, that is depolarization. Now, this depolarization causes opening of the calcium channel to cause further depolarization. Opening of the calcium ion triggers the release of insulin, and insulin is secreted into the blood, which then controls the glucose level. A short description of the pathway is shown here. Flowchart: increase in glucose leads to increase in internal ATP, which leads to potassium channel inhibition, which causes depolarization, which in turn results into increased calcium influx, which then triggers the insulin release. This is a cross section of the receptor, the sulphonylurea receptor and the NBD receptor. Inside, the ATP binds to the same receptor and the same protein and the drug, like the sulphonylureas or the glinides. They bind to the sulphonylurea receptor, and both of them block the potassium channel, leading to the activation of the process of insulin release. This mechanism in detail, word to word. Then you have this structure-activity relationship. You can see the structure of sulphonylurea. This is the sulfonamide moiety, that is a sulphonyl group attached to an NH, which is a part of a urea. So this whole is known as the sulphonylurea. This is the phenyl ring on which probable substitutions can be. So there are three parts of the structure which are considered for the modifications. First is the R group or the para position, which is substituted on the phenyl ring. Second is the nitrogen adjacent or bound to the sulfur, and third is the NH2 moiety on the urea. And as we consider the R, then if there is any substitution on this phenyl ring other than at the para position, it decreases the activity. So para position gives the optimal activity. So whatever substitutions are there, they are on the para position. Then the second is the NH adjacent to the sulfur. It has to be unsubstituted as or a secondary amine. No substitution, this proton cannot be substituted by any other group. If done so, then it loses activity. And thirdly, we have the substitution on the nitrogen. Over here the R1 can be varied. The length of R1 can be from C3 to C6, and this is the group which determines the pharmacokinetics of the drug. Now concentrating on the R group or the para position of the sulphonylurea benzene group ring, then there should be only one substituent in the para position. And what kind of substitutions are seen? In the early stages when the first generation drugs were there, the substituents were merely methyl, amino group, acetyl group, fluoro, bromo, methyl thio, and trifluoromethyl. Not much progression with this was done. So let us see the first generation drugs. These are the first generation drugs. We have different drugs. Torbutamide, torazamide, gliclazide all have the para CH3. They have variation at the NH also, but in all cases the nitrogen attached to the sulfur is having one proton in it. And also the second nitrogen in this case, except for torazamide and diazide where it is cyclized, also have one proton on each. There is no other substitution. So whatever substitution is there, either it is a single aliphatic chain or a cyclic aliphatic ring is substituted on the nitrogen, which is adjacent to the NH. Further on, the chlorpropamide has a para-chloro group and a para-acetyl group, which is there. Okay, now we come to the second generation drugs. Here the R is further modified. It contains a beta-aryl carboxymido ethyl substituent. They all form the second generation agents and they have higher orders of magnitude than the first generation agents. Second generation, you can see the structure over here. The structures on the nitrogen, they are having different cyclic ring structures as against the aliphatic straight chain or branch chain, side chains on first generation. They have cyclic structures, whereas the beta-aryl carboxylo ethyl substituents are highlighted over here. You can see this is the para position. In the para you have a ethyl substitution. On the ethyl you have a nitrogen which is attached to a carbonyl group. So it is a carboxamide substitution on this ethyl group. And on the beta position of this nitrogen we have this, that's the beta carbon, which is a aryl group in most of the cases. Okay. So this is the beta-aryl carboxylamide ethyl substituent on the para position of the phenyl. We have glycoxyphate, we have limipiride, glyburide, glipizide, and glyquidone. Let us see now the reflections for as to what can you predict as to why they have a greater magnitude of activity as compared to the fourth generation agents. You can pause the video for a minute, think upon it. If you want, you can go back to the structure of the second generation agents, look up the structures and find a hint for the same. Okay. The compounds with beta-aryl carboxyl ethyl substituents have higher orders of magnitude than the first generation because of its structure, that is, the specific distance between the nitrogen atom of the substituent and the sulfonamide nitrogen atom is constant, which enables a greater affinity towards the receptor as compared to the first generation. You can see the structure of the second generation wherein the distance between the two nitrogens is constantly maintained with the same chain length which is being given. Okay. Hopefully you have understood. The second part, that is the NH, which nitrogen which is attached, any substitution on this nitrogen will lead abolishment of the activity. Then you have the third part, that is substitution on the terminal nitrogen. Here it has to be of certain size and it should impart lipophilic properties of the molecule. If you consider small molecules like N-methyl or N-ethyl, then it does not have much activity. N-methyl is totally inactive and ethyl has low activity, whereas N-propyl to N-hexyl are the most active components. If you increase this chain length to more than 12 carbons or 12 carbons, then activity is lost. We have a summary of sulphonylureas and their structure so that you can remember structures. Thank you and have a nice day.